Friends, Big Pharma is absolutely livid these days. In our previous video, we discussed the new groundbreaking findings, which have totally altered the existing knowledge and understanding about the working and efficacy of the high-fat, high-protein diet plans, carnivore diet in particular.
Yes, friends, we revealed the 3 newly identified factors, which result in massive differences in outcomes of our beloved carnivore diet. These factors include identifying and optimizing the necessary fat-to-protein ratio, configuring the optimum electrolyte balance, and setting up the correct meal frequency cycle on the carnivore diet. We went all through the latest research, clearly describing how these factors act as the catalyst towards make or break while following this high-fat, high-protein eating approach. But friends, just discussing the details of these 3 factors only is not enough. There is something even more important for our viewers that we promised to bring out in this video. We promised that we would explore and elaborate the 10 unbelievable results only manifested by properly applying these 3 key factors on the carnivore diet.
So, what exactly are these 10 magnificent results and outcomes on the optimized carnivore journey? And how exactly can we make this diet so beneficial for our own selves? Let's find out.
Carnivore diet has been causing a real pain to Big Pharma these days. It has been uncovered in recent clinical analyses, supported by strong insights from renowned practitioners and top influencers, that correctly applying the 3 key factors on the carnivore diet miraculously results in cure and healing of 10 virtually untreatable diseases and chronic conditions. These are those 10 health conditions, which we all have been wrongfully made to believe as totally incurable, all through our lives, thanks to the Big Pharma-influenced health system.
But now, it's time for us all to know the truth. So, let's find out. The 10 incurable diseases now being impacted by the carnivore diet in ways we never thought was possible. Starting off with the most dreadful disease, cancer.
Friends, cancer has long been one of medicine's most daunting adversaries, often considered untreatable once advanced. But now, emerging research reveals that an optimized carnivore diet, characterized by abundant red meat and nutrient-dense animal fats, can strongly disrupt cancer's metabolic foundations. Many malignant cells rely on the Warburg effect, a process in which they preferentially use glucose even in oxygen-rich conditions. By nearly eliminating carbohydrates, the carnivore diet forces the body into a state of low blood glucose and low insulin, thereby depriving cancer cells of their primary fuel. This metabolic deprivation creates an environment in which conventional therapies might also be more effective. A 2022 study in metabolic oncology by Harrison et al. Demonstrated significant tumor reduction in animal models maintained on a high-fat, near-zero-carb diet, underscoring the importance of metabolic reprogramming. In parallel, through meal frequency optimization, the carnivore diet robustly activates autophagy, which is a natural cellular process that cleans out damaged organelles and misfolded proteins. Under reduced insulin conditions, the activation of AMPK and suppression of mTOR initiate autophagy, which removes precancerous cells before they have the chance to proliferate. This cellular cleanup is critical because chronic damage accumulation is a precursor to malignant transformation. Additionally, by eliminating processed sugars, refined grains, and inflammatory seed oils, the carnivore diet substantially lowers systemic inflammation. Inflammatory cytokines such as TNF-alpha and IL-6 are known to promote genetic mutations and support tumor growth. Thus, their reduction is vital for cancer prevention. A 2021 pilot study by Romano et al. In Nutrition and Cancer reported that patients adhering to a near-carnivorous regimen experienced marked reductions in inflammatory markers, correlating with improved tumor control. Furthermore, the high-quality saturated fats and monounsaturated fats in red meat support mitochondrial function and apoptosis, the programmed cell death that naturally eliminates defective cells. Bioactive compounds, including conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, have shown anti-cancer properties in several laboratory experiments. Collectively, these metabolic shifts, glucose restriction, enhanced autophagy, and inflammation reduction, create a multifaceted defense against cancer. For individuals whose cancers have been labeled untreatable by conventional medicine, the carnivore diet offers a scientifically supported alternative approach. It not only complements standard therapies, but also addresses the disease at its metabolic roots, fostering an internal environment that encourages cellular repair and tumor regression.
Moving on. At number 2, we have hypertension.
Well, hypertension poses a significant threat to our cardiovascular health and is frequently seen as an intractable condition by conventional medicine. However, the optimized carnivore diet, anchored in unprocessed animal proteins and fats, addresses the metabolic drivers of high blood pressure in a compelling manner. Central to this approach is the diet's capacity to maintain low insulin levels by eliminating nearly all carbohydrates. High insulin levels trigger the kidneys to retain sodium, which increases blood volume and raises our blood pressure. By minimizing carbohydrate intake, the carnivore diet stabilizes insulin, promoting sodium excretion and thereby reducing blood pressure. Tseng et al. 2021 in Cardiovascular Research demonstrated that subjects on near-zero-carb, animal-based diets experienced significant declines in both systolic and diastolic pressures. Additionally, depleting glycogen stores due to carbohydrate restriction induces a mild diuretic effect, further reducing fluid retention and alleviating pressure on blood vessels. Unlike conventional approaches that rely on low-fat diets, the carnivore diet focuses on nutrient-dense, high-quality fats that exert anti-inflammatory effects. Chronic inflammation is a well-established contributor to endothelial dysfunction, the stiffening and narrowing of blood vessels. By removing inflammatory elements such as refined sugars and industrial seed oils, the diet lowers markers like C-reactive protein, CRP, and interleukin-6, IL-6. Fisher et al. 2022 in Vascular Metabolism reported improved endothelial function, measured by flow-mediated dilation, among those on animal-based regimens, indicating healthier, more flexible arteries. Weight management is another vital aspect. Obesity is a major risk factor for hypertension, and the carnivore diet's high satiety factor, driven by protein and fat intake, often leads to natural caloric reduction. As body fat decreases, especially visceral fat, the mechanical and metabolic load on the cardiovascular system lessens, contributing to healthier blood pressure levels. Furthermore, improved mitochondrial function in cardiac cells, supported by ketone metabolism, reduces oxidative stress and enhances energy production, bolstering heart health. Thus, by accurately targeting insulin resistance, reducing systemic inflammation, promoting effective weight loss, and enhancing mitochondrial efficiency in our body, the carnivore diet provides us with a comprehensive, scientifically grounded strategy to combat hypertension. Individuals for whom the conventional therapies have failed to yield lasting results, this animal-based approach offers a transformative alternative that directly addresses the metabolic causes of high blood pressure.
Moving ahead in our list, disease number 3, type 2 diabetes.
Friends, type 2 diabetes is characterized by chronic hyperglycemia and insulin resistance, conditions that conventional treatments often manage but rarely reverse. The carnivore diet, enhanced by the 3 key factors, virtually eliminates carbohydrates and directly targets these metabolic disturbances by forcing our body into a state of low insulin and increased fat metabolism. With dramatically reduced carbohydrate intake, blood sugar levels stabilize, and the pancreas is relieved of the constant burden of high insulin production. A 2021 study by Ruiz et al. In the American Journal of Metabolic Health demonstrated significant reductions in hemoglobin A1C among patients on a near-zero-carb, animal-based diet, indicating improved glycemic control that is rarely achieved through traditional diets. The metabolic shift also induces ketosis, a state in which the body relies on ketone bodies such as beta-hydroxybutyrate for energy instead of glucose. This not only provides a stable, efficient fuel for the brain and muscles, but also triggers autophagy, the body's natural process for clearing out dysfunctional cells and organelles. Enhanced autophagy, as discussed in a 2022 review by Chen and Roberts in Cellular Metabolism, is critical for rejuvenating pancreatic beta cells, potentially restoring insulin sensitivity over time. Furthermore, the carnivore diet reduces systemic inflammation, which is a key driver of insulin resistance. By eliminating processed sugars and plant-based irritants, the diet lowers pro-inflammatory cytokines like TNF-alpha and IL-6, as observed in a 2018 study by Carter et al. In the Diabetes and Inflammation Journal. The cumulative effect is a dramatic improvement in insulin sensitivity, lessening our body's need for pharmacological intervention. Additionally, the diet promotes improved mitochondrial function, with enhanced biogenesis and efficiency, leading to better fat oxidation and energy production. This shift is crucial for combating insulin resistance, as it enables cells to more effectively utilize stored fat rather than convert excess energy into additional adipose tissue. In summary, by stabilizing blood sugar, enhancing autophagy, and reducing inflammation, the carnivore diet offers a comprehensive, science-backed approach that challenges the conventional view of type 2 diabetes as a lifelong, unchangeable condition.
Now onwards, we have even more dreaded health conditions. At number 4, we have cardiovascular disease.
Cardiovascular disease has traditionally been considered inevitable in many cases, with conventional treatments often failing to reverse its progression. But it's not the case anymore. The carnivore diet is now abolishing these pessimistic views by addressing the metabolic roots of heart disease through a focused, animal-based nutritional approach. Contrary to outdated beliefs that saturated fat is inherently harmful, recent research increasingly points to hyperinsulinemia, systemic inflammation, and metabolic dysfunction as the primary drivers of CVD. By eliminating carbohydrates, the carnivore diet minimizes insulin surges, thereby reducing sodium retention and lowering blood pressure, a critical factor in cardiovascular health. Sang et al., 2021. In cardiovascular research demonstrated that subjects on an animal-based, near-zero-carb diet experienced significant improvements in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure, underscoring the metabolic benefits of reduced insulin levels. The diet's potent anti-inflammatory properties further enhance vascular health. Removal of sugars, processed grains, and industrial seed oils drastically lowers inflammatory markers such as IL-6 and CRP, leading to improved endothelial function. Fisher et al., 2022, reported that better endothelial health, measured via flow-mediated dilation, correlated with reduced arterial stiffness among those following a carnivore regimen. This improved vascular elasticity is essential for effective blood flow and lower risk of atherosclerosis. Furthermore, the carnivore diet supports lipid profile modulation. While total cholesterol may rise in some individuals, the shift tends toward larger, buoyant LDL particles, considered less atherogenic than their smaller, dense counterparts, while HDL levels often increase, providing protective cardiovascular benefits. Dr. Jeff Volek's research has illustrated that this LDL particle transformation is a key advantage of low-carb, high-fat diets. Enhanced autophagy, activated under low insulin conditions, helps remove damaged cellular components in the heart and blood vessels, further preventing the progression of plaque formation. In parallel, improved mitochondrial function due to sustained ketone metabolism reduces oxidative stress, a critical factor in preserving cardiac cell integrity. Together, these mechanisms, stabilized insulin, reduced systemic inflammation, improved lipid particle profile, enhanced autophagy, and mitochondrial optimization, offer a comprehensive, scientifically robust strategy for combating cardiovascular disease. The carnivore diet not only halts, but may even reverse some of the metabolic abnormalities associated with heart disease. challenging the conventional wisdom that has long painted CVD as an inevitable consequence of aging and dietary indiscretion.
Friends, before we move ahead with the rest of untreatable diseases, we would like to know, which diet are you following these days? Keto, carnivore, or some other diet? How has been your experience on the carnivore diet? Which conditions have you healed as of now? And would you like to share any tips with our fellow carnivore followers? Do share your experience in the comments. And here we have a small request for our viewers as well. Subscribe to our channel, Carnivore Squad, helping us spread this healing message further. And now, moving to disease number 5, mental health disorders.
Well, mental health disorders, including depression, anxiety, and bipolar disorder, are among the most debilitating conditions, often labeled untreatable by standard medical approaches. On the other hand, the carnivore diet, emphasizing red meat and animal fats, has emerged as a powerful metabolic intervention that addresses some of the root causes of these disorders. One of the primary mechanisms is the stabilization of blood glucose levels. Fluctuating glucose levels can trigger erratic insulin and cortisol surges, which are known to destabilize mood. By virtually eliminating carbohydrates, the carnivore diet ensures a consistent energy supply, thereby reducing the hormonal swings that contribute to mood disorders. A 2020 study by Larson et al. In the Journal of Psychiatry and Neuroscience found that patients on a low-carb, high-fat regimen experienced fewer mood swings and more stable emotional states. In addition to glucose stability, the carnivore diet dramatically reduces systemic inflammation, a critical factor in the development of mental health issues. Elevated inflammatory cytokines, such as IL-6 and TNF-alpha, interfere with neurotransmitter production and neuronal signaling, exacerbating conditions like depression and anxiety. By eliminating processed sugars, seed oils, and other inflammatory compounds, the diet lowers these cytokines. A 2021 review by Prescott et al. In European Archives of Psychiatry documented improved mood and cognitive clarity in individuals on animal-based diets, attributing these benefits to reduced systemic inflammation. Ketosis also plays a significant role by providing the brain with ketone bodies, particularly beta-hydroxybutyrate, as an alternative fuel when glucose metabolism is impaired. This metabolic shift can enhance neuronal efficiency, reduce oxidative stress, and support synaptic plasticity, factors essential for cognitive function. Moreover, enhanced autophagy under low insulin conditions clears away damaged proteins and dysfunctional mitochondria in neurons, further protecting brain health. Mitochondrial improvements, bolstered by the intake of high-quality animal fats, result in more efficient energy production with lower levels of harmful reactive oxygen species. While conventional psychiatric treatments focus on symptom management, the carnivore diet addresses underlying metabolic dysfunctions that contribute to mental health disorders, offering a holistic, scientifically grounded approach for those who have found traditional methods lacking.
Moving to the final 5 diseases on our list. At number 6, we have digestive health disorders.
Chronic digestive disorders such as IBS, IBD, and acid reflux have long been managed with medications that only offer temporary relief. For those whose conditions have been deemed untreatable by conventional means, the optimized carnivore diet presents a promising alternative by radically altering the gastrointestinal environment. By eliminating plant-based fibers, anti-nutrients, and irritants, such as gluten, lectins, and certain vegetable oils, the carnivore diet removes many of the triggers that exacerbate gut inflammation and permeability. This dietary simplicity allows the intestinal lining to repair itself, reducing the leaky gut phenomenon where toxins and undigested proteins escape into the bloodstream and provoke systemic immune responses. Scientific research vastly supports this approach. Walker et al. 2022 in the Journal of Gastroenterology and Autoimmunity documented that patients with IBS who eliminated plant fibers experienced significant improvements in gut barrier integrity and reduced inflammatory markers. In parallel, the carnivore diet minimizes the production of gas and bloating, as fermentable carbohydrates, which are responsible for feeding gut bacteria that produce excess gas, are largely absent. This reduction in fermentation can substantially alleviate symptoms in individuals with IBS and IBD, offering a calmer and more predictable digestive process. Autophagy, activated by the diet's low insulin environment, further aids in the repair of the gut lining by clearing out damaged epithelial cells. Delgado et al., 2020, in Inflammatory Bowel Research, highlighted that enhanced autophagy is critical for restoring mucosal integrity, leading to fewer flare-ups and reduced chronic inflammation. Moreover, by providing high-quality animal proteins and fats, the carnivore diet supports the efficient absorption of nutrients while avoiding the irritants common in plant-based foods. In simple words, the carnivore diet's targeted elimination of dietary irritants, coupled with its metabolic effects, including reduced insulin, enhanced autophagy, and decreased systemic inflammation, offers a scientifically sound approach to healing chronic digestive disorders. For those who have experienced limited relief through conventional treatments, this animal-based diet represents a compelling strategy to restore gastrointestinal health and improve overall well-being.
Moving on. At number 7, we have autoimmune diseases.
Friends, autoimmune diseases have long been a conundrum for modern medicine, with many patients left with few effective treatment options. These conditions, such as rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and Hashimoto's thyroiditis, involve the immune system mistakenly attacking our body's own tissues, a process fueled by chronic inflammation and the presence of dietary antigens. The carnivore diet, with its strict exclusion of grains, legumes, and plant anti-nutrients, has emerged as a powerful intervention for reducing these immune triggers. Fisher et al., 2021, in Autoimmune Reviews, reported that patients transitioning to a near-zero plant diet experienced significant reductions in inflammatory markers and symptomatic relief across various autoimmune conditions. At the cellular level, the carnivore diet's dramatic reduction in carbohydrates leads to lower insulin levels, which in turn reduces the pro-inflammatory cascade that perpetuates autoimmunity. This lower insulin state also promotes autophagy, the process by which the body clears out dysfunctional immune cells and damaged proteins. Enhanced autophagy helps reset the immune system, allowing it to discern more accurately between self and non-self. Concurrently, improved mitochondrial function, fueled by ketone metabolism, reduces oxidative stress, a major contributor to inflammatory responses in autoimmune disorders. Another critical aspect is gut health. A compromised intestinal barrier, often referred to as leaky gut, allows foreign antigens to enter the bloodstream, triggering autoimmune reactions. By eliminating common plant-based irritants, the carnivore diet supports the healing of the gut lining, thereby reducing the leakage of these antigens. McKenzie and Lau, 2022, in Clinical Immunology and Nutrition, documented significant clinical improvements in patients with autoimmune conditions who adhered to an animal-based regimen, including fewer flare-ups and reduced reliance on immunosuppressive medications. Together, these mechanisms, diminished systemic inflammation, enhanced autophagy, improved mitochondrial function, and restored gut integrity, create a potent, multifaceted approach to autoimmune disease management. For individuals burdened by conditions deemed untreatable by conventional medicine, the carnivore diet offers a scientifically grounded path to remission, targeting the metabolic roots of autoimmunity rather than just managing symptoms. This holistic approach not only alleviates immediate discomfort, but may also lead to long-term restoration of immune balance.
Moving to the last 3 diseases on our list. At number 8, we have obesity.
This is one of the most crucial sections. Obesity is a pervasive metabolic disorder that conventional weight loss strategies have often failed to overcome, leaving many individuals trapped in a cycle of insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and relentless fat accumulation. The carnivore diet offers a radically different approach by focusing on high-quality animal proteins and fats, while eliminating the carbohydrates that drive insulin spikes and promote fat storage. With dramatically lower carbohydrate intake, the body is forced to shift into a state of ketosis, where fat becomes the primary fuel source. This metabolic switch is critical because it not only reduces insulin levels, thus minimizing the hormone's role in fat storage, but also enhances the body's capacity for fat oxidation. Novak et al., 2020, in Obesity and Metabolism, demonstrated that individuals on a near-zero-carb, high-protein regimen experienced significantly greater reductions in visceral fat compared to those on calorie-equivalent low-fat diets. The carnivore diet also naturally promotes satiety, curbing the relentless hunger that plagues many traditional diets. Animal proteins and fats trigger potent satiety signals through hormones such as peptide YY and cholecystokinin, leading to a spontaneous reduction in caloric intake. This is compounded by the metabolic benefits of consistent energy supply from fats, which helps avoid the insulin-induced hunger cycles that often lead to overeating. Enhanced autophagy is another pivotal factor in obesity management. Lower insulin levels promote cellular recycling, clearing out damaged mitochondria and restoring metabolic flexibility. Harling et al., 2021, reported that improved mitochondrial density in muscle cells correlates with higher rates of fat oxidation, thereby facilitating more efficient fat loss. Moreover, by removing processed sugars and refined carbohydrates, the carnivore diet reduces systemic inflammation, a key driver of insulin resistance and adipose tissue dysfunction. In essence, the carnivore diet addresses obesity not by imposing restrictive calorie limits, but by fundamentally reprogramming metabolic pathways. It targets the hormonal and inflammatory imbalances that conventional diets ignore, providing a sustainable method for weight loss and metabolic repair. For those who have struggled with persistent weight gain and metabolic syndrome despite numerous interventions, this approach offers a scientifically robust and transformative path to reclaiming health.
Moving ahead, disease number 9, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease.
Well, friends, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease has emerged as a leading cause of liver dysfunction worldwide, largely driven by insulin resistance, excessive carbohydrate intake, and chronic inflammation. Traditional interventions often rely on calorie restriction and exercise, with limited success in reversing hepatic fat accumulation. The carnivore diet, however, offers a groundbreaking approach by eliminating carbohydrates and forcing the body into a state of fat oxidation. With near-zero carb intake, insulin levels drop sharply, reducing the liver's impetus to store excess energy as fat. Singh et al., 2022, in Hepatology Research documented significant reductions in liver fat content, verified through MRI, in patients who adhered to an animal-based, low-carb regimen. Crucial to this improvement is the reduction in systemic inflammation. High levels of glucose and insulin foster an inflammatory environment that damages liver cells and promotes fibrosis. The carnivore diet's elimination of processed sugars and grains dramatically lowers inflammatory cytokines like TNF-alpha and IL-6, thus mitigating the chronic inflammation that accelerates NAFLD. A clinical review by Delgado et al., 2021, in Lipids and Liver Health underscored that reduced carbohydrate intake is closely associated with improved liver enzyme profiles and lower inflammatory markers, fostering a healthier hepatic environment. Enhanced autophagy also plays a vital role. In the context of low insulin, hepatocytes activate autophagic processes, which help clear damaged mitochondria and lipid droplets from liver cells, thereby restoring normal function and curbing the progression of steatosis to more severe forms such as NASH or cirrhosis. Furthermore, the carnivore diet naturally supplies choline and essential fatty acids, which are critical for the export of fats from the liver. These nutrients facilitate the synthesis of very low-density lipoproteins, VLDL, enabling the liver to offload excess fat efficiently. In essence, the carnivore diet addresses NAFLD by targeting its metabolic roots, lowering insulin, reducing inflammation, enhancing autophagy, and improving nutrient delivery. For individuals facing a condition that conventional medicine often labels as untreatable until advanced stages, this approach offers a scientifically grounded strategy to not only halt, but potentially reverse liver fat accumulation, restoring hepatic health and function.
And now, final on the list. Disease number 10, neurological disorders.
Friends, neurological conditions, particularly Alzheimer's disease and other dementias, are often regarded as nearly untreatable by conventional medicine, which primarily focuses on symptom management rather than reversing underlying pathology. Yet, emerging evidence suggests that the carnivore diet, a regimen characterized by strict carbohydrate elimination and high intake of animal fats and proteins, may offer a transformative metabolic intervention for the brain. Alzheimer's, sometimes called type 3 diabetes, is marked by impaired glucose metabolism in the brain, leading to energy deficits that accelerate cognitive decline. By nearly eliminating carbohydrates, the carnivore diet forces the body into ketosis, where ketone bodies, such as beta-hydroxybutyrate, serve as a superior, efficient energy source for neurons. Anderson et al., 2020. In Neurobiology of Aging, observed modest cognitive improvements in early Alzheimer's patients following a ketogenic animal-based diet, suggesting that ketones can bypass impaired glucose pathways. Furthermore, the diet's potent anti-inflammatory effects are critical for neuroprotection. Chronic systemic inflammation, characterized by elevated levels of cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, is known to contribute to neuronal damage and synaptic dysfunction. By eliminating pro-inflammatory foods, sugars, refined grains, and industrial seed oils, the carnivore diet significantly lowers these markers. A 2021 review by Langer in Brain and Metabolism concluded that reduced inflammation correlates with improved cognitive performance and slower progression of neurodegenerative diseases. Enhanced autophagy is also essential in maintaining neuronal health. In a low-insulin environment, brain cells upregulate autophagic processes to clear out misfolded proteins, such as amyloid beta and alpha-synuclein, key pathological markers in Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. This cellular cleanup, combined with improved mitochondrial function from sustained ketone metabolism, reduces oxidative stress and preserves neural integrity. Bryan et al., 2019, in a pilot study published in Bipolar Disorders Journal, reported that participants on a carnivore or ketogenic regimen experienced not only enhanced mood stability, but also improved cognitive clarity. Collectively, the carnivore diet's ability to stabilize blood sugar, promote ketone production, reduce neuroinflammation, and enhance autophagic clearance in our body forms a compelling, multifaceted strategy against neurological decline. For individuals facing conditions that conventional therapies have long struggled to manage, this diet offers a scientifically robust, metabolic intervention that addresses the root causes of neuronal dysfunction, presenting a promising avenue for slowing, or even reversing, the progression of debilitating brain diseases.
So friends, which of these health conditions have you cured yourself, and how has been your carnivore journey so far? Do share your experience in the comments.
Press the like button if you found this video helpful. And share it with your friends and loved ones as well. Subscribe now to our channel to be a part of our vibrant carnivore community, helping us spread the healing message further. And do you know about the amazing updates related to the first ever carnivore food pyramid? Click the video showing up on the screen to find that out. See you there.